Hey guys, O'Brien here. Just figured I'd give you a gameplay video of NASCAR the game inside line at Michigan and talk to you about the new NASCAR 14 game, get your take on it, and give you a little information, maybe some stuff you do know, don't know, and give you my take on it and what I think. It's deep silvers along this time, and we'll have to see what the game is like. I'm giving it pretty high expectations. It should be a pretty decent game from what I hear. I got a buddy of mine who has it already because he's a beta tester, and he says it's pretty good from what I hear, and the screenshots look good. The graphics look pretty decent. I mean, it looks really similar to NASCAR the game inside line, but I mean, I was impressed with NASCAR the game inside line. The actual core content, there was a lot of bug fixes that needed to get fixed that I don't think they put a lot of work into, like the online, and I think that's the main focus for a lot of the gamers right now. It's just the online play, because it's nice when you go on and you get to race with other guys and you get a nice sturdy game, but with NASCAR the game inside line, we had a lot of lag issues and stuff that should have been better that were really never fixed. We were promised patches that we either never got or were just really late and a complete update. So I'm hoping this game is really a better move towards the online gameplay, which it seems like they added some cool stuff to it, but I guess we'll have to see. This coming Tuesday, I'll probably get it around Friday-ish. One new thing they added to the online is you can create your own league. I thought it was pretty cool. It seems what you do is you go in and you put put how many races it's gonna be, and put your click your pick what order tracks you want and how many the different tracks you want in it, and then you get your group of guys together that's running in your league, and whatever you set the date and time to while you're changing your track information and stuff, you jump on and you're ready, set to go. And then at the end of the race, the game will record your stats and update points and stuff throughout the season. So I think that seems pretty decent. We'll have to just wait and see how that turns out, but it looks like that's a nice addition to NASCAR 14. Another online thing I was really looking forward to is the way I'm a paint booth guy. I love going in and I love creating new paint schemes and just showing them off to friends and stuff. But with NASCAR game inside line, you spend hours in the paint booth and you go online, and half the time you couldn't even see the paint scheme, or they just caused a lot of lag. And not only did that just affect the way you thought about the online gameplay and how you raced, it also affects stuff like leagues. I'm a big league guy. I love racing leagues and racing with buddies every week, and would enjoy running my own scheme instead of an actual driver scheme. Don't get me wrong, I like racing driver schemes, but I think it's more fun when you have something that you created around the track to show off and say, hey, this is my car, I designed this myself. And we really didn't able to get that with NASCAR the game because you couldn't see it half the time, and it just, when you could, after the patch they released, it just really, I don't know, it just caused lag issues. And still to this day, 5 days before the next game, we're still having issues with that, with which should be a simple patch fix. But I hope the next game doesn't have those problems, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they run. I talked to a buddy of mine, and he said they seem to be working good with this paint scheme since he already has the game, but it starts to act up when you have towards a full lobby. So if you have a lobby of say 10 or less guys, you should have a pretty solid run. It's just when you get the big lobbies of 16, 14, 16 guys is when you're going to have one or two of them that not show. And that's for the PS3 side. The Xbox side is they have a big copyright issue with public created content, so you will not be able to run a custom paint scheme online if you're using the Xbox system. Another thing that I'm a little upset with is it's the current gen consoles, or I shouldn't say current because we have the Xbox One and PS4 out. It's not going to be released on the Xbox One or the PS4. It's mainly Xbox 360, PS3, and a PC game. Now the PC part will be launched through Steam on the 18th as well, I believe. And I'm not sure it's going to be disc game content. They said they don't know if they're going to do a, what is the name of it? You're not going to be able to go on and buy it on a store right away. It's just going to be a disc-based game for the time being. So that's just another thing if you're looking forward, if you like buying games and having them on your system in case something happens to a disc. It looks like you're going to have to wait a while to even get it if they do create it, because they don't know, they're not approaching that right now. The AI in the game, from what I hear, is pretty decent. They bumped the AI up and they kind of rewrote how the cars will run. And it's a new game. You figured they'd do something like that, especially with the new Gen 6 cars and the way they act. Like the cars aren't going to be bricks anymore like they are in this game. You can really shove somebody around and end up just really shoving them around, and they keep their line pretty good. Like when you're bump drafting and stuff, you really just, you can push them wherever you want. And with the Gen 6 cars in real life, you can't do that. So I think they incorporated that into the new game, where the bump drafting is not going to be so solid. Like if you get into somebody, you can ram somebody that's the 150 and you're going 210 and they just get a little squirrely. If that happened in real life, I mean, they'd be around in an instant. And I think they incorporated that into it. Another step in the right direction is they have it now that when you're racing and you bump a guy, they will now retaliate. Like they're going to fight to keep their position, and if they get past, they might use the chrome horn, as you could put it. And this is really close with the 31 here. Almost takes my rear end out. But they will fight back and do whatever they can to repeat or save their position. That's funny, the 34 caused that. It's my online car. Looks like something I would do. Just ram up in the high side there. But so I'm looking forward to that. And that's like the main things I was looking into. I was watching the NASCAR Media Day today, and it was brought to you by NASCAR 14, if you were watching live on NASCAR.com. And they had the gameplay in the background, and they had a contest between the drivers and stuff. You might have watched it, might not have, but they had a qualifying competition where they had like 10 drivers, I think it was like 8 or 10 drivers run the Daytona 500 qualifying, and then it was just a competition who could get the fastest time. And of course, Dale Jr., being the gamer he is, ended up winning. And then, which was pretty cool because it was new content for NASCAR 14. You really got to see the HUD menu and just how the cars will look on the track at speeds. Knowing we have 5 days to the game and we don't have a gameplay video trailer is kind of sketchy. I believe I don't feel comfortable. It's like they're hiding something. It honestly looks a lot like NASCAR the Game Inside Line. and I hear it's just what NASCAR the game inside line should have been. So it's basically a $50 patch from what I hear. But you know what? If the game runs good and you get decent gameplay out of it, I will gladly get that. So that is pretty much the main details of the game. I've been posting renders of the game, and a lot of people have noticed and is upset about the filler drivers. They had a certain amount of time to get the paint schemes from the actual team and then put it in the game and then reship it out to Microsoft and Sony for publishing, and whatever teams didn't have a paint scheme to them in that time. That was a pretty good save there, guys. Car's pretty sideways. But if you didn't have the game, or if they didn't have the scheme to them by that time, they had to use a filler driver and a filler sponsor paint scheme combination. So you're going to have guys, like there's some duplicates of drivers. Like you have Ryan Reed in the 16 and Greg Biffle in the 16. They both have two different paint schemes, but they didn't have the paint scheme submitted at that time, so they had to put in a filler driver. There's 2 7 cars. I think one's Josh Wise, and I forget who the other one. I think the other one's Mike Barnett. And it's just the way things are in the game. They just had a time crunch, and they really. That was a big wreck. And I almost got through it, but I just hit this 99 right there. And you just have those filler drivers with filler sponsors, and which will be corrected after Daytona. Every driver that runs in the Daytona 500 and their sponsor will be in the game. But then you have the exception of the sponsorships, like your alcohol. Your sponsor like Budweiser or Miller Lite, those type of beer providers. It's not the game that doesn't want it in there. It's not Technics or Deep Silver. It's the actual sponsor. Budweiser doesn't want their logo on the car because maybe they feel it's not a good example, because you have young guys that come on and that play these games. And I really never got this. Really never got the meaning behind it. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, but I mean, just you could put those sponsors in the game and just up the rating for the game to team. And I mean, it's funny because you got all the Call of Duty games, and just you play the campaigns and stuff like Battlefield, and you have so many young kids that play that stuff, and some of the things that they say or the actions they do in the games anymore, it's just way up there. And then you think you come to a racing game and they couldn't put a logo on a car because it says Budweiser. But it's not up to me. If it was up to me, they'd be in the game, but it's up to the sponsor, not the company either. And but we're gonna have a DLC for Daytona 500 and drivers and cars soon, and maybe even the highlights, depending on when that gets me every time I watch the video. The 2 car just comes out of nowhere right there. Like when I was actually playing, this is my second time recording this, Audacity decided to be mean to me and not want to upload the file or save it. So I'm re-commentating this for the second time, and the first time I kind of jumped because I was sitting there just racing, and I see this smoke screen. It's like, alright, and then the 2 car was just in my face. And this race was just a wreck fest, honestly. It was crazy. I mean, I ended up in the end, I ended up playing some strategy, and it doesn't play out to the way I want it. It's a nice finish from the 40th position start. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I mean, it's just gamble didn't pay off this time. I had a left front go down and a left front rotor, I believe, and I didn't fix the damage here either. But So it looks like with the new league incorporation for online and them just rewriting online so that way everything is smoother. Just the Gen 6 paint scheme, the custom paint schemes online, and the AI is just really major improvements in the game. Other than that, I mean, it looks like NASCAR the game inside line to a certain degree. The menu is different. I have a couple render videos I'll put in the description. You guys can check that out if you haven't already. And this got some like main menu screenshots and onboard, inboard, the car, like first-person screenshots and stuff. So it's just a bunch of different screenshots and renders of the game. So we'll have to see how that works and plays out. But other than that, I'm just really looking forward to this game. And that's really what I got to say about the game. It looks solid. I'm going to run out and get it probably sometime next week. And I'll be posting a lot of paint scheme videos. I'll be doing a lot of Gen 6 paint schemes. And I started to do some paint schemes on this game. But I stopped quickly because you got the fact that really you got you know, you just spend the time in the paint booth and you really can't even see the cars online. And then another wreck. But you have you're gonna be having the game's out in 5 days, so I wasn't even gonna waste my time with making a nice paint scheme on this game. I just figured I'd stop, and the 51's upside down right there. That's nice. But you'd figure you just don't, you save the time and do something else because you're going to be on the new game a lot, depending on how it is. So I was going to have a couple paint scheme videos for you guys coming for NASCAR the Game Inside Line, but just I kind of canceled those due to the game coming out. So I'll be posting gameplay videos, just random online lobbies. I've started recording my league races for NASCAR the Game Inside Line. I don't know if you saw the Michigan race or not. That was up as of yesterday. It's decent. It's an hour and 15 minutes. It's a 50% race times 2. That was fun. Had a pretty good car. Just there was one caution the whole entire race for 13 drivers, which was nice. But I just went a lap down early and couldn't get it back due to caution. So not the way I wanted that to turn out, being the chase starts next Tuesday. I'm 7th right now in points, but we'll see. I made the chase and see how that plays out. I got Talladega next Tuesday. I thought there was going to be a caution right here with everyone filing into the pits like that. But next Tuesday I got Talladega, so we can look for that coming. I should have that up Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then after that, we've got Daytona, I believe. And then Homestead, Miami, because we shortened up the chase a lot since the game is out. And then, let's see, I think March 18th is when we start up the new season, which is the Tuesday. So I'll be doing just a bunch of new NASCAR 14 gameplay. I'm going to really step up that. I'll be adding some Call of Duty gameplay here and there too. I've been, me and my cousin have been trying to get something together with Call of Duty. And so I'll have a mixture of stuff up. I might take it back and I might do some NASCAR 2011. Sorry about that, my phone was going off. I might take it back and do some NASCAR 2011 gameplay videos. Maybe see if I can find an online lobby, because online in that game wasn't too bad. But we'll see what happens with that. And then, really, this is where I made a mistake right here. I just drove into this corner too hot. But so I'm just gonna have a mixture of videos, but mainly between Call of Duty and the NASCAR game. I should have the NASCAR game by next Friday, so just look for that if you're interested, and then check out my Call of Duty videos. Other videos that I might do, I might be doing some, I might go through and do like a Need for Speed type career, a couple different Need for Speed videos. Maybe an F1 2012 video, 'cause that was always a fun game. If I had to pick one person to make NASCAR games, that would definitely be Codemaster, because between the Dirt titles and the Formula 1 titles and Grid, they're just amazing. I love their gameplay, and I would just love to see them make a NASCAR game because their graphics are great, and it just seems like everything is in line with that company. But that's the end of the race. I mean, drove it into 1 too hard and lost spots, and then lost just a couple more spots because they had faster tires, or fresher tires, not faster. But that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.